Good at chicken. There we go. Hey guys. I'm getting better at checking my microphone before I get started here. Um, Welcome back to Flying in Space with Planet Head. Uh, do I do that every video? Uh, Long story short, it is a Monday. I got a lot of stuff done during the day today. So I'm going to play a little bit of Eve. Eagles won yesterday. Fly, Eagles, fly. You guys don't care. Um, to anybody in Europe that doesn't know American football, the Eagles are the greatest team ever out of all 32 teams. If you live in the United States, shh. We're not. But so back to Eve Online. Still want to do I was going to do a organized exploration video. One of the guys sent me a great uh, outline of some things that I might have missed. And I thought I was going to do one this weekend. I might do one down the road. I've done a couple in the past, a long time ago, and I forget that sometimes people don't watch the 300 videos that I did prior. um, so, and I've learned a lot since then, and I've unlearned a lot since then. A lot of times whenever I'm doing these, I get a little bit complacent because I'm too worried about talking and not about playing. So what I thought about today was rather than do an organized video, just kind of show and go really a little bit slower than I would um, every time I do something or with exploration today. I thought I would talk about it a little bit until I get to maybe 30 minutes or so. And then maybe if I don't catch it all, maybe I'll follow it up tomorrow. The reason why I say that is rather than organizing is it's less work on my part. But the second part being that I just realized, and I am an idiot, that NPC Nullsec is actually not that far away from me. And I'm going to go to an area that I have never been, or I have not been to in a long, long time. Actually, I'm not even sure if I've been to this area. Um, so there's a slight chance I might die. I am currently just going through, there's Dotland. There we go. So I want to show you where I'm going to try to get to. Um, if I'm not mistaken, I should be in Malna right now. I'm booted up. Might as well boot up. There we go. I've currently got a Mar level 5 frigate skilling up right now, but you know me, I've got my Minotaur ships ready to go with my Cheetah. But while that's booting here, here's the map. And if you notice here, I'm probably down here in Malda. If not, I'll be down here in Firmish. I'm messing around with both areas right now with a little bit up here. But right up here, and it just totally missed me. If I were to go through Solitude here, Solitude here. I'll come in from this direction. Right here is Syndicate. It's literally like 6 or 7 jumps away from where I'm currently stationed. I come in here down at the bottom. So you have to be a little bit careful. You got a constellation right here, then you got a jump area, and you got to be careful there. So what I thought I would do is that the number of asteroid? Oh, NPC calls. Okay. Look at that. Just randomly looking at a number here. So this is the number of NPC kills in the last 24 hours. If you look at the difference, and this will tell you when groups live in a certain area a lot of times. In the travel area, when I'm coming up here, if I was going through here, notice very few NPC kills. Look at this one right here. And this little constellation right here is 8,580 NPCs kills. Wow. So something's going on there. Some group probably has this whole um, constellation locked down. And so that's a place you probably don't want to go to unless you want to go fight. Look at that, another 11 and 1100, 1400. So a lot of stuff going on there. So some group is really farming that area for NPCs. But I'm going to be coming in from this direction. Let's go ahead and let's minimize that and pull that down. There I am. I'm in my Thrasher. I love the name. One buddy messaged me that he calls it a trasher, and I've heard that before, but it just makes me giggle every single time. We're gonna get out of this and jump into my Cheetah. Oh no, I am in Furnish. Shoot. Okay. Um, Well, I need to get home then. One or firme, firme is where I'm at, not furnish, firme. So I'm gonna head over to Malna. While I'm on my way there, I will explain why I am skilling up in um, Amar level 5. Because as you know, I like to fly around in my cheetah all over the place. Um, and you have to have level 5 of Minmatar frigate to do that, plus a couple other skills. But main time time taker is the Minmatar level 5. If I get Amar level 5, that'll allow me to do the Amar Tech 2 exploration ship. And I can't think of what that is called, so we're going to pull it up here. Amar should be Logistics Frigate Covert Ops. I think it is the Anathema? Yep, it would be the Anathema here. Never flown one. Um, but what that would do is give me the option to fly either type as an exploration ship. And why is that important? Because now this is my first inclinations of this. I'm going to go back here to Iridia and I'll show you. I'm kind of slowly working out. You know that I've been living in this area here for a little while, and now I'm hanging out here. I'm going to start maybe building a Mars ships here and make that a second home. That's going to be one of my 2 homes. I'd like to start spreading out a little bit in Iridia so that I'm not focused on one spot. So that might be my second area, not just that one station, but the area that I might start messing around in. But I want to focus on Mars ship production there and the Minmatar ship production in the other spot, and then work from there and see what happens. But to get to level 5, so then if I'm focused on if I've got Amar frigates and destroyers, then I can move up from there and I can bounce between the two, and I'm not held down to one area. So um, that's the plan. You know me, plans last about 24 hours. But I can also talk a lot, and I'm only 4 jumps away right now from getting home. We can jump into my frigate. I have tried in the past to save some time with these videos. Just gonna keep jumping. I don't got any worries there. Notice I'm like totally not even paying attention to dying. Um, um, I normally would try to pause the video right here to save that time. But I found that sometimes it disconnects the video recording connection. And I just upgraded to Windows 11, and it forced me so far that I can tell the free video creator. I have to download and change that. So if you've noticed recently, I've just been doing video creation, not video editing. So I need to learn how to do that a little bit better and get used to that software. I messed around a little bit last night when I figured that out because I wanted to make a more organized video and realized that they had updated that. So I got to learn that. So again, man, do I know how to talk. And now we're only 3 jumps away from where I need to get. So I will try to do this as quickly as possible. I'll jump right into the cheetah and then we will head over. Um, Other than that, oh, great news. So Johnny Pugh, old time YouTube creator, he did a flyby. He was in, and I couldn't remember the other day. He was in System briefly, and I saw him. And I was like, I hadn't seen him in so long, and to be honest, I knew the name, but I couldn't remember. Ooh, there's an endurance. Wow. Um, I couldn't remember where I'd heard the name before. Turns out some guys reminded me about his old video making. And he actually replied to the last video or the video before that, and said, yeah, it was him, because we weren't sure if it was him or somebody who had been playing um, under his name or something like that. And he actually did reply in the comments saying it was him. And thank you for replying, Johnny, if you're watching this again. He was a great YouTuber, if I remember correctly. Normally, I'm really bad with names, so the fact that I remembered his name was amazing in its first place. But he did just create a about 7 or 8 days ago a new video about career missions. He got back into the game when they offered the free 7 days of Omega, and was really kind of impressed with what's been going on recently. So I think he's decided to stay for a while. But if you guys want to check it out, it's Johnny Pew. I think it's just JONNYPEW. If you want to check that out online. I think I even replied to the link to somebody. Oh, I think I emailed it to him. But check him out. Great guy. But he's around. And now we've made it to Malta. All right, cool. Gonna be a long video. Sorry, I should have checked this before I started the video up, but I've been really trying to be doing. Yeah, that's fantastic. Been trying to do more authentic videos in a way, like the ones that I put the dates on of gameplay. Um, I watch a lot of YouTube, and I find that the more authentic something is, the better. And I don't know if you remember a couple days ago, whenever I was trying to find a PvP match. Um, Sometimes when I watch videos, it makes you feel like it's so easy to find something or do something, and you don't know about that downtime in between. So if I can show the amount of time that it takes to do certain things, it gives people more of a realistic thing. Then those will be on my daily ones that I put the dates on. Still want to do edited videos, um, but I don't really need to do those right now. Okay, so we are here. Oh, I brought a bunch of junk with me. I'll pick that up later on. Let's jump into the cheetah. Make sure we got our probes with us. Got our probes, good, ready to roll. Only other thing, I am in. First thing I'm gonna do is this is my cheetah. I love it to death. Sooner or later, I will die in it, and we will have a service for it because it has been so much fun. And then we'll get another one. Uh, I fly around with one piece of one piece of equipment not online, and that is the interdiction nullifier. And that helps with dealing with interdiction bubbles and things like that, because those are only valid, they can only be done in wormhole space and in NPC nullsec space. We're going to be flying there. Now, why would I have this turned off? Because, if I'm not mistaken, while it's on, uh, temporarily nullifies the effects of warp disruptor probes and warp disruptors when in 4. Um, if I'm not mistaken, it slows down your targeting, which slows down me trying to scan an area down. Now, we'll mess with that here in a little bit, but I am going to turn this on now because I will be flying. Oh, no, it isn't targeting. I think it's range. We'll find out soon. Um, Maybe my targeting range. So let's get going. Our goal is to get to NPC nullsec and show you what's there. And as I do each thing, um, I will try to give you guys an idea of what I look for. I may miss one or two things. You can't get everything right. The first thing that I want to do is check out whether or not people have been dying on the route that I'm going to. So the first thing I want to do is check out recent ship and pod kills. Okay, so I'm going to be going up this way through here. Now this is just on Dotland. And then I'm going to be going up through here. No kills, no kills. Syndicate. This is the big one. This is the one I always want to look for. Because this is jumping from Lowsec into Nullsec. A lot of times these areas are gate camped. Like right here, notice right here there's some death that was going on. Even though this was right on it, it's right through it. So you want to be careful and check these entrance areas. Now this one looks a little bit quiet, but this is just by Dotland in the last hour or so. I'm not sure how fast Dotland uploads, so I always like to check the the in-game map. So we're going to say D8 5 TAC VD. And this is just planning out the trip a little bit. Before you even go someplace, you can't do probes correctly if your ship's dead. Okay, so we're going to... Oh, I need to search it up. So D8 5 TAC. I think that's enough. Can't remember the other ones. I've got a short-term memory problem. There it is. 6 jumps away. I am only 6 jumps away from NPC Nullsec. I didn't even pay attention to that. I've been down here for what, a month now? Okay, because it was 2 regions away, and that's one of the reasons why I like this little area. It's a little bit quieter, but I have access to different areas. So awesome. So this is going to take me through these systems, and then D8 is there. Now, what I can do here is go into the in-game map. This now has my route on there. And ships destroyed in the last hour. I can just hover over here. Nothing, nothing. Now it said it on Dotland, but I always like to double check. Looks like I'm in pretty good shape there. Second thing you want to be careful of, always look in local. Make sure nobody's in system. Now, I will give this one caveat to that. If you boot up in station, be very careful because a lot of times while you're in station, I've seen this happen to myself. Local will not update right away. Sometimes it won't update until you disembark. So the station. So you want to be a little bit careful. Now, we just flew through, so I'm perfectly fine. I know I'm good. But the other part being that whenever you go to leave, especially out here in Lowsec or Nullsec, from a uh, uh, NPC station, there will be no tethering. So the best part to have with that, especially if there's only one station in the system, because they'll know where you might be coming out of, is to have a jump spot out. So I'm going to go ahead and undock here, and I will show you right up here. I always keep my local here and my save spots here. They're right in front of me. Other people can organize their stuff that they want, but I like to have them right there, right on top. So I'm going to go ahead and undock here. And I should have set up an undock here because this is one of my main stations that I'm going to be coming and going from. And then see this safe undock? I can warp directly to that. Notice how quickly, and I've done a couple videos of this before, notice how quickly I got to warp there. It wasn't just because I'm flying a cheetah and it does get to warp quickly. It's because I set up the undock directly off. Now this is really good for areas like this, or places like Cheetah, or areas that you move a lot of expensive stuff out. Just get yourself away from that undock space. There is a couple of seconds where you are invulnerable, but as soon as you move, you can be locked up if I remember correctly. So that's really nice to have. And this one I set up 450 kilometers away. I will be moving that after this video because people might watch it and try to kill me. Hey, we got somebody in the system. Okay, next part here is let's get to a safe spot and cloak up. Now, I probably could have cloaked up earlier, but I got off the station. Now I can cloak up and warp to there. Now I'm in Lowsec, so I'm not too worried about as you saw me flying with the Thrasher, too worried about jumping from gate to gate, especially in the Cheetah. Um, if somebody were to catch me, they're really good, and I'll learn from that from the first time I die. But I'm not going to spend the next 100 days worrying about that and then have it never happen. So as soon as I die to somebody doing that, so we're just going to start traveling on or out here to Iridia. I mean, toward Syndicate. Go ahead and jump there. And that way we get there quickly. biggest thing that I've had to get in my mind is whenever I'm flying with a covert ops ship is to always have your cloak on if possible. You're going to see me forget a couple times here. Um, Even if nobody is in system, it's always a good idea to have cloak on because you never know when somebody will enter system. It's also really good practice for when you're in Lowsec to always have your cloak on and not switch between them. Not Lowsec, wormhole. If you're in wormholes, you won't even know if anybody else is there. Okay, we got one guy in system. I'm not too worried. I'm going to jump gate to gate, but I'm going to go ahead and get my cloak. Nobody's over here in local. Like I said, someday I'm going to die and then I'll change my ways, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. Now, if I had checked the map out earlier and it said there were a couple of deaths on the route, then I would be a lot more careful going gate to gate. But right now, it's about time. Um, boo, 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 boo. Again, nobody in system. But even though nobody is in system, I'm going to cloak up because as I'm traveling toward this Shoshoshin gate, somebody could come in system. So I want to give them as little information about me as possible. Now, all they really have to do is watch a video and they'll know everything about me. But I'm stupid. I just realized I have no coffee. A little bit. Fantastic. There we go. Nobody in system. Let's keep on going. We're still in Iridia. Should be coming up on Syndicate soon, or Solitude soon. But let's get our cloak up. Now, why do I have these things here? Now, I'm going to pull this one up here first. These are all very important things at the top. These are my secondary ones. These are my scanning things that I can take my time to do. But these are the things that are going to keep me alive traveling around. So I have those on top. Now, I had this down in the bottom one. That's because I don't need it unless I'm in nullsec or in wormhole space. Okay, we are now in solitude with one guy. He's got some sister core probes out, so I'm not too worried. Go ahead and jump and cloak her up. So by cloaking right now, even though I'm not too worried about this Astero here trying to kill me, he's getting very little information about me. He's just seeing me pop in and pop out. Now we're only 2 jumps away. A lot of cosmic signatures here. I am very interested to see if the relic and data sites are better as the low sec systems get smaller. Okay, we're 1 jump away. We'll go ahead and cloak it. I've found that in Malna, the low sec and I'm sorry, the relic and data sites are not very lucrative whatsoever. Very rarely have I even gotten lucky enough to get like a 2 or 3 million ISK off of the relic sites. A lot of times it's just a bunch of junk. I use that junk, don't get me wrong, but I'm wondering if the point ones or point twos will do better, or do I have to be a nullsec in wormhole space to get the really good ones? Alrighty, we are now in NPC nullsec. We are in Syndicate. There's one station here. I got no save spot, so let's make a save spot. Always good to do. Actually, nobody is here. So I am going to do something a little bit funky here. Going to micro warp drive my way out. I'm going to keep an eye here on local, see if nobody comes in. I'm going to pull up a safe spot. Now I could bounce to a system or a planet and bounce back. We're going to set this as no. And then we're going to say gate Farul 150 km. You guys have seen me do this plenty of times. Basically, I'm going to wait over here till I get over 150 kilometers away from Ferrol, and then I'm going to drop this um, uh, safe spot. Now, it's not going to be at 150 kilometers. It's going to be over 150, but it tells me that it's close to, that it is a perch. It's a spot that I can check this gate out if I'm coming back. Because what could happen is while I'm flying out here, and then I go and I get a great relic site and I'm all jazzed. Then I fly into system and I see like 7 or 8 people in system. I want to see if they're gate camping this gate site with some bubbles and things like that. Just to be careful. This will allow me to warp near the gate. I can go ahead and turn off my micro warp drive now, and see who is on the gate or not. If you already know that, great for you. So that's good enough. Nobody is around. We're going to go ahead and hit that, and then we're going to hit our cloak. Okay. So what do we got in system? Nothing. Notice here, probe scanner results are nothing. I have just recently started doing this, filtering out when I am only scanning for relic sites and data sites and wormholes. I have removed off in the filter, notice here, everything but that to make it easier for me to see what I'm looking for. So as an example, if I had the anomalies up here, it would tell me that there's a medium and an Arcanor site. There could be a lot more other stuff. There could be combat sites, things like that. Taking that off will tell me that only the cosmic signatures. There's other things that could be here. I'm not worried about those right now. All I'm worried about are relic and data sites. Here, there are none. So I've made one save spot. As I come back and forth through this system, I'll make more and more save spots. And because I just realized this is so close, I can do some exploration over here. So let's keep on moving. Nobody's on system. We don't have to worry about any bubbles. So, well, there might be a bubble, but nobody's there. So we're going to go ahead and jump. Kind of hoping that somebody's left out a fake bubble here. We want to see, or an extra bubble. I want to see if I can use the nullifier on it, but I've never used this too much before. Okay, so there we go. Maybe that'll be another video down the road. Okay, cool. First thing you always do, check local, see if anybody's there. I don't see anybody, and we got one cosmic signature. Whoop, we got a couple people who just entered system. Let's get off this gate. Warp within 100. Get cloaked up. Now, Control B. Safe. I'm going to make a generic safe spot on my way through here. AU is away. Submitted. There we go. We had 4 people come. Oh, and they're all shuttles. Wait, are they? So that sometimes somebody will have a station and they'll have just a bunch of shuttles lying out. So Lorraine Broughton. So it looks like these all might be shuttles. We'll find out. Why somebody be flying a bunch of shuttles, I have no idea. I'm not too worried about it. Looks like they're all leaving. Maybe. Come on. Good for you. All right. So I warped to the planet. Now to be a little bit safe, I'm going to warp back to my safe spot. Now I don't have to do this as an Omega, but I am, because I can cloak up. As an alpha, if you go back and watch my videos from earlier this year where I was exploring down in Stain as an alpha without the cloak, which I learned a ton from, because you don't have the safety net of having a cloak on. I learned to make all these save spots. So that's one of the reasons why I play the way I do, is I don't take the easy way out. I could have very easily bought into Omega. I learned save spots. I learned other things to do. And then I learned to do the cloak again. I used it 10 years ago. But I made a point, like the first 100 days that I came back and played, to only play as an alpha and learn some different things before I started playing again. Now I kind of view myself as an average to just below average player, especially some of these guys have been playing for 10 or 20 years, even guys who play 3 or 4 years, they have a lot more time in than me because I have so many other things that I do. This is just a fun thing for me to make dumb videos about. All right, so now I'm in a safe spot. Nobody is in system. I have one cosmic signature here. Now, there's going to be a few little things that I'm going to forget, but I'm going to tell you what I normally shoot for. Now, I've got to uncloak to send out my probes. Let's look at my fit first and tell you why I have certain things on here and why I don't have other things. So, I've got a relic and a data analyzer, which I could upgrade these to level 2s, but I haven't yet. I've also got my cargo scanner. You've seen me use that in the past. It is really helpful for speeding up sites. If I find a site on this little run, I'll show you again how I use a cargo scanner to speed things up. Big one here is the micro warp drive. You want to have a micro warp drive if you're doing exploration, um, because a lot of the afterburner, it doubles your speed. The micro warp drive does 5 times your speed. Now, a lot of times you will fly into a data or a relic site that has its items like 70 kilometers away, and it will take forever, even in a fast ship like a Cheetah, to get from one thing to another. The micro warp drive will save you a ton of time. Over here, I've got my sister's Core Probe Launcher 2. Normally, I just go with a regular Core Probe Launcher, um, or yeah, but this one I actually scavenged off another guy's dead corpse ship that was out there. And I've got the sister core scanner probes. You'll see me use regular core scanner probes whenever I first create ships, but the core scanner sisters ones are the ones that you really want to use. They are more expensive, but they will pay for themselves over and over and over again by being able to more quickly scan down sites, but also sites that you weren't able to scan down before, get into those level 4s, maybe even to level 5s. So those are really helpful. Now here, and I might change these. I haven't done them in a while, but I've got the mimetic algorithm, show you here as my rig. This is designed to help with the data modules and the um, gravity capacitor upgrade. This helps my scan probe strength. Um, I don't have the relic one on here. Why do I have the data one on here when they're normally, uh, I usually get less money from the data ones? Because of the covert ops sites. I want to have the best chance of doing those if I get them. I don't want to take any chances, and the algorithm, the mimetic algorithm bank will do that. Those are the ones that will explode on you if you don't get uh, the decryption done the first time. It will explode on you and it'll blow up your ship. The other thing too is it will help you get through the uh, decryption faster, just because they give you more. You don't have to be as careful. So I've got those there. I am cloaked up here, right? I'm just keeping an eye out. I've got a guy here in system. Notice I don't have my probes out right now. That's very important to me, and I'll talk about that here in a second. Down here, I had the power core on here. Actually, I don't think I need that. This was to make it so that I could use more power grid. I got to double check that when I get home. I might be able to throw something else in here. It's been a while since I've looked at this fit. I've got my warp core stabilizer right here, just to keep me alive a little bit better. That is a 2. Again, something I just scavenged off of somebody else. And 2 inertial stabilizers get me able to turn in their level 2 so that I don't buy this stuff. This is stuff that I go hang out in. I did this as an alpha. I hung out in Tama and Amamaki and a couple other places, and snuck in to areas where there had been a battle and stole. It's got the loot that people left behind because people don't care about them. So the inertial stabilizers are on the ship so that I can turn and get out of dodge faster. I might want to look at this fit. There's some things that I could definitely change on it, or upgrade. So maybe I'll talk about that in the next video. But that's why I have what I have here. Um, the one major negative for the Cheetah is it has no drones. So literally I have no way to shoot anything with this ship. Um, this is a totally passive ship. You're either caught and dead or you're away. Now it is super fast. It's like a cheetah. So now could I throw something up here? Yeah, but I don't want to get rid of any of this stuff, especially if I'm going in a Lowsec. And getting rid of one nullifier to get one gun on here is not going to do me any good. So, but yeah, I definitely should check that out. Gotta kind of looked at that. All right, everything get quiet. So let's do a D scan. We got an Astero in system. Very important. What are Asteros? Asteros are scouting ships. Um, so the other part too with an Astero is they can be offensive. Asteros are really good at since they can do damage and scan. They're very good at picking off guys like me if I'm not paying attention. Like if I'm doing a relic site, not paying attention to who's in local, an Astero can sneak up and snag me and shoot me and kill me and get my stuff. That again is why I keep my local right here in the middle of the screen. I used to have it down here or over here, and up he's gone. So, and these are still here. So it's probably not a relic site there. Um, but long story short, let's go ahead and scan this again. Get rid of that over here. Gone. Um, He's gone. We can see what this site is. Now I'm betting it is not a relic or a data site. Nope, there he's back again. Keep an eye out there. So let's check him out. Anybody is in system with you, it's always a good idea to check him out and see what they do. Notice he's at a negative 1.3 security status. That doesn't mean a huge amount. The best thing to do usually is to, I'm going to pull this down here, go into Z kill board if you can. Z kill board and look him up. Now, this may seem like a lot of work for you, but everything that I've already talked about earlier um, is all taken care of for me. And even this part where I'm looking him up, the more often that you go to an area, oh shoot, he left. I think that was him. Was it Sol Pahan? I think that's what it was. Oh wait, Sol Pahan. Okay. Um, so here we go. This is him here. So he is dangerous. Um, he kills more than he doesn't. Notice here he's got a couple. He's got an Imicus. What I'm looking for are scanny ships, an Astero. So these are ships that he has shot and killed. Um, and a lot of these are solos. Notice that. So this is somebody that I want to keep an eye out for and be careful of. If you keep coming back to the same areas, you'll slowly get a feel for, oh, I know that guy. You don't need to look him up all the time. So again, first time you come out to some place, take your time. So I'm going to go ahead and decloak and launch my probes. Now remember earlier where I said um, I didn't launch them on purpose? It was for that exact situation that just happened. I was cloaked up, and now I'm going to go ahead and cloak up again. Ooh, we just got a new site. Did you notice that? That just popped up there. So that might be a new data or relic site. We got to go ahead and I'm going to stop talking and let's see what we can do. Now, I'm not going to do this as well as I normally can, but anytime a new site comes up, you definitely want to snag it as quickly as possible. Now, I'm going to learn from my buddies who have talked to me online. They said, um, since I've got such good scanning skills right now, I've been going 8 AU on my scanning range to 4 AU to 2 AU. They said I could start skipping one because I'm in much better shape. So I'm at 16 AU. I've started moving it up to there so I can snag as much as possible. Whoop, double click. There we go. That'll center it. And then I'm going to go from 16 AU down to 4 AU. And we're going to try this. It was working for me the other day. So it'll save me twice as much time because I've got good skills. If this works. It's a really good point. It's a data site and a relic site. Ooh, always do the relic sites first. Why? Because we can. I bet you, is that the one that just popped up, or is it one that we're going to find out? So we're going to drop down to 2. I can't remember if that was the new one or that one. I can't remember which one I came into first. So we're going to warp directly to that right now. I want to see. Now while we're warping, I can go ahead and scan this data site. Analyze. Ooh, this looks tasty. Okay, so we got the data site. So I need to do this as quickly as possible. So let's go ahead and get our micro warp drive on. Remember I said earlier about them being so far apart? This is where your micro warp drive, oop, I gotta uncloak. There we go. Micro warp drive. Now, the other thing I look for is I look to see how many of a specific type are here. There's only one ruin. So I'm going to do that one first. Then I'll move on to the 2 rubbles, and then I'll do the remains. That way I know what I've scanned first, and then second and third. So let's go ahead and... that's what it is. The nullifier makes it my targeting range less. There we go. Now let's see what's in this ruin. I am going to scan all of these first. 1.28. Let's do the rubbles next. That is the only problem with having this nullifier on. Let's go ahead and put it offline. It's just allowing me not to scan things. There it is, see? I can't scan things that are, it went from 26 to 48. 26, 14 to, I'm talking too much. Let's scan this rubble. Okay, that one is not big for me. Where's the second rubble? There you are. And let's get our micro warp drive on. I'm scanning them first. Now I could be just doing these sites, but with the amount of traffic that's come through here, I want to see if there's any just really good one first. If I can get that one, I can just warp away and not worry about anything. 2.3, so the second rubble is pretty good. Anything over 5, I will go ahead and do. There's a remain. 193. I gotta remember to turn this nullifier back on whenever we get done doing these, though. That will help me from the bubbles. There we go. So we got a remain there. Then our other remain is so far away. .75. Where's my farthest away remain? There it is. Oh, I hope I didn't go too far away from. Need to keep a better eye on those. I should have clicked on that. That was my fault. Hopefully I'm not scanning down the one that I just scanned. I can't remember. I think that's the same one. Dang it! And then okay. Because I have you guys watching, I'm making the mistake. I needed to, whenever I was farther away, I needed to you can actually tag these in local. If you have your fleet, somebody taught me that. You can actually, if you have a fleet window up, you can tag them. Okay. Am I going between? Getting annoyed here. Stop for a second. Just trying to be cute. Probably going between the two here. I'm just going to do one of them. Whatever this one says, whatever's inside of it, we'll go ahead and 1.5. Okay, so rule of 6. Let's go ahead and, why is my orbit so different? That is weird. I did not set my orbit at 15 or 13 or whatever it's saying. It's cheating. All right, let's do this. I feel dumb now that I'm not letting this go over 5,000 meters. There we go. Now I can do it. Rule of 6, you want to try to get to an area. Oop, gotta get that one. Ah, that was pretty quick. Good. Okay, let's do the other 2 remains. Good. There you are. Now I know I won't confuse myself with them because I'm stupid. Unlock target. Let's do that one. So that's 1.75, and then there was this one here. I just can't remember. There were 3 of them, and I think I was bouncing between 2 of them because I was not tagging this one, the overview, because I was talking too much. So that's my fault. Need to get my warp drive going one more time. There we go. Let's see what this one has. I was kind of hoping there would be a nice big chunky. Is this it? Come on. Nope. Okay, so were 2 of them 1.93? All right. So, long story short, those are there. I'm fine with that. Normally, I would stay here and clear these out. Let's try and go to that data site real quick. It's a level 1 data site. It's probably nothing special. The thing I look for all the time here is if it's a covert site, it'll say it. But I used to forget the name of what I was looking for here. If it says this little line right here, it says a data analyzer module will be invaluable. If it says that, then it's probably not protected. I always look for that little line in there. Okay, let's try this again. I got 3 mainframes. Ah, this is huge. Remember my micro warp drive trick that I was talking about earlier? Imagine how long it would take me to fly 181 kilometers to this one here. That's ridiculous. So why is my default? So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then orbit 2,500. There we go. Let's pull all the way up. The other thing I could have done was just sit here and look at the map and figured out which ones I needed to go to. I make a mistake all the time of being too close on my ship, and where this view here is actually so much better. Good. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and scan that. We're going to do all 3 mainframes this time. 891. Now, normally, since nobody's been in system, I'm not too interested. Data sites are going to be data sites. It's not going to gain you a whole lot. I would go from one to the next to the next to the next, not worry about getting something super expensive because that very rarely will you run into that. I'm actually going to fly back over to this relic site and do that one. Why? Because I can. I'm really surprised I ran into both a data and a relic site here. Neither one of them is really lucrative, but I have literally run into some data sites. A good data site will give, or relic site will give you around 20 million ISK worth of stuff. A really good one, I've actually gotten over close to 100 million, if not more than that. Let's go ahead and get that going. 100 million ISK worth of loot off of one. Now, the question is, can you get it done quickly enough? I have found a box. I have decrypted a couple of boxes in my day that were over 50 million ISK in that one box. In a lot of those times, it would have been the fourth one that I would have opened up just by pure luck. And as soon as since I scanned it down with my cargo scanner and get to it first, almost every time somebody else has come into system, and I would have been fighting them over whether or not I could get to it or not. So I really love the cargo scanner. If you get used to doing it, it really will save you a lot of time, especially I'm sure if you've done any type of exploration, um, you will know the times where it will give you nothing, and that is just a total waste of your time. And if you can just scan a box while you're flying toward it, wow, that was the easiest box I've done in a while. I'll take a 1.2. Thank you. Next. So, and as I'm flying toward it, I can get rid of this junk here. Scan that box. Is it worthwhile? Is it worth my time? This one, if I was in Lowsec, I would grab it. In Nullsec, I'm not. I'm going to leave this box here for a reason. I've talked about this in the past. This box being unopened will leave this relic site open for probably about the next 30 minutes. So anybody coming into system now will try to open that box or try to scan down this relic site, which will waste them that time. At the same time, there we go. I'm talking too much. And I gave the disclaimer earlier at the beginning of the video. I start talking too much. I'm usually a lot more with it when I'm doing these things. Um, much more efficient at doing them. Why am I going so slow? I turned my micro warp drive on. Maybe I should do a video where I just shut up. Is it? See, I changed my default. Why is it trying to default me at 13 kilometers? That is not my fault. Something orbit set default. Oh, that's what I was doing. Okay. I don't know why it reset my default to 13 kilometers. Wait. When I was doing the PvP fight the other day, I set it up to be a default of 13 kilometers. That makes sense. Because my guns and my warp disruptor, so I could keep it range from somebody. I never switched it back. It is my fault. All right, let's open this puppy up. Let's see what's here. Don't go too fast like I just did. See, if I would have gone one more, I would have been stuck with that sucker. Let's go ahead and get the wrench on here. Kind of surprised with all this talking that I've been doing and rigmarole. There we go. That nobody else has come in system. I will not mess around. I will get the frick out of system if I can. All right. Can't remember which ones I haven't done yet. So, you know what? I don't even care. So I'm going to go ahead and warp to my safe spot. I need to reset my brain. I'm going to actually do some more scanning out here, but in a much more efficient manner, hopefully. I'm trying to think of anything else. I am sure I'll probably do a follow-up video to this maybe tomorrow with a lot of the mistakes that I made. Oh, some quick pointers that were brought up to me. D-scan. So notice here I wasn't D-scanning at all because nobody was in system. And it was cloaked up early, so I don't worry about it. But when you're in a wormhole space, your D-scan over here, your hotkey, you constantly want to be hitting that. The default hotkey is V. But I've heard this, and the one fellow who sent me a mail the other day, he said he switched his D-scan from V over to spacebar because it was so easy to just hit and just keep doing that while he's doing everything else he does. That is a great suggestion, um, and I would recommend that. I don't have it on mine, but if you're in wormhole space, you're doing a lot of wormhole stuff, I would say move your D scan over to the spacebar. Number two, if you don't feel comfortable doing D scanning, you don't feel like you know how to do it very well. Um, I will give you one major suggestion, and I never felt comfortable with D-Scan until when I first came back to play, I decided I want to learn how to D-Scan, directional scan. Uh, and as an alpha, I went into wormholes and I learned how to directionally scan. I would say I'm about a B minus on D-scanning now. I know the cruxes of it and what to look for, but I'm not quick or fast. And there's a few little tricks that I don't know. But it has changed the way I view Eve. It has made it a much more alive space rather than pointing and clicking at different places to go. I have a much more broader view of the game because of the D scan and being able to use that to keep myself alive. Or whenever I am out doing my PvP fights or trying to find those, if you saw the video a couple days ago, I actually scanned down the different sites and was able to find another frigate that I could fight rather than just randomly flying to places and hoping I would find a fight. So I would suggest anybody, in my opinion, to, if you're starting Eve, learn to explore and learn how to use your D-scan and do it as an alpha and challenge yourself as much as possible. Um, you will die sometimes, but you will gain a lot more ISK. As an alpha, you're not spending any money on it. It'll give you some time to get your skills up, and then you can work on everything after that. William Pilgrim, this character, when I came back to play, I did that with. I've started two other characters on the same account, but I've come back to this one because he has the full exploration abilities, and I'm having so much fun with him. And I can wake up any day and go out and explore if I don't have anything else to do, and it's great. Um, Side pointers. Somebody did point out to me that those boxes that I could have labeled, if you create your own fleet, you can label those. Label the boxes and know which are good and which are bad. I tried that for a little bit. I'm sure it works for some people. Oh, wait, I gotta get my nullifier back up here. Put online. It's a great idea. I didn't practice it enough, and I'm not sure how much it would really help me, but it could help you. So if you want to try that out, you can create your own fleet, and then in the fleets, you can tag items in space. So that is another pointer. Um, as far as maps, know your maps. Know where you're going to. Plan your trip out, what you want to do beforehand. Remember when I started, I looked to see. Now, I wanted to go to a general area and then look around at it. So that's what I did. But I looked at my map to go there, and I knew how I wanted to go. If I would have seen that there were a couple deaths in between, I would have taken a little bit more time traveling from one space to another. So, I'm probably going to get rid of this or end this video. I am sure I'm missing something. I really wanted to organize this earlier in the weekend, but then I thought, let's just go play. Um, there's a lot of exploration videos out there. Take some time, read through them. That's how I learned how to do it. It is the most fun thing. Is it most fun or funnest? Most fun or fun? Is it is the one thing that I can always come back to with Eve. I sometimes will get tired of building things. Sometimes I'll get tired of killing things in asteroid belts. But almost invariably, I can jump into an exploration ship, whether it be a tier 1, tier 2, and fly around and look at things and not feel like I'm wasting my time. So that is exploration um, on a live scale. Not so. If you have any ideas or any thoughts, please feel free. If there's anything that I missed here, fire them off to me. I know I missed a bunch of them. Um, boy, that was an ugly relic site that I did. That I'm going to go back and clean that up. Um, I'm sure I'm missing some other things, so I'll probably do a part 2 to this video, making fun of this part. But I'm going to stop talking here. Um, hey, you guys, I hope you've had a great weekend so far. And I'd like to say have a great week going forward. And that's all I got. So fly safe, fly dangerously, fly however like you want. And I will talk to you soon. Have a good one. Bye bye.